Happy Friday, everybody. Happy International Women's Day. Today is March 8th, 2024, and this is your Friday planning video. This has been another big week in the markets and really for anyone following the world and the U.S. and the economy. So as we've discussed before, my recommendation is to separate the signal from the noise. Today, I want to talk a little bit about that signal. So the noise, there has been, and there will be plenty of it. This past week, the coming weeks, just next week alone, and just the eco data. We'll get CPI on the 12th, PPI on the 13th. Last night was the State of the Union, otherwise known as the long Biden campaign ad. Today was the big jobs numbers that actually did reveal things. And Wednesday and Thursday this week was Powell on Capitol Hill, and he moved markets. So there's a lot of noise. I'm not sure how you all saw it, but I continue to be amazed, even after over 30 years of doing this, that smart people can see the same eco data, hear the same testimony, hear the same speeches, and come away with completely different conclusions. Literally, Wednesday, CNBC ran a report and an article online. The headline was, Powell reinforces position that the Fed is not ready to start cutting interest rates. While the Wall Street Journal ran a report the same day with the headline, Jerome Powell says Fed is on track to cut interest rates this year. And that is what makes a market. No wonder this market confuses people. Overall, yes, these topics sound like they are more appropriate for Monday's videos, and we'll touch on them Monday also. What I want to try to do today is two things. First, tales from the front lines. Again, in keeping with the dueling news headlines, I'm very blessed that many of you are also avid readers of news and other materials that help to guide you. I'm always reading something and consuming vast amounts of economic and planning information. I want to add, be careful, especially, and you can see it as I just described, those headlines. Don't stop at the headlines, and especially don't act too quickly if you're not sure. This week, a number of clients brought me great articles with some misleading headlines, not on purpose, but I do believe that financial advice given in form of mass media is by definition not designed to guide individuals who have specific needs and goals. I've told you before that this is my real concern with radio advisors, whether it's in finance or mental health, and there are plenty of radio shows and podcasts that do this. My concern is that people hear those recommendations, they act on them, but there's usually the next step that's missing in the recommendation. You're not going to get a follow-up call from the radio or the podcast. So there's a lot of valuable media to be consumed. I urge you to do that, but then let's discuss it and see how it fits into your plan. Your plan is your plan. There are so many things that are unique about every plan, and although some of the blanket recommendations seem to be good for all, like taking different medications, watch out for dangerous interactions. Okay, that's it from the front line. Just watch the news that you consume. Let's talk about it. I love getting links and articles from you, and I'll always do my best to review them with you. Now, onto the planning and prep part. It's that time again. Yes, time to spring forward, change the clocks this Sunday morning. I'm always worried about appointments that I have on Sunday and if I'll be late. This week, I'm actually flying out of town first thing Sunday morning. I have already concerns about that. iPhone auto time adjust is there to the rescue, I hope, but I'm sure I'll be up all night anyway, worried about it. It's also the time to prepare for your preparer. Yes, time to get your information together and handle any last-minute actions before April 15th, tax day. Recall, I do not give personal tax advice, but these days we seem to have a hotline from the accountants and the CPAs, so check with them and handle some last-minute items. You have about 38 days from this morning, so there's a partial list. So here's a partial list. We'll go over this a lot in the coming weeks. Yes, time to fund your retirement plans again. This is very, very important to check with your tax advisor to see if you can contribute, how much you can contribute, and even the Roth or traditional question. You're in the sweet spot of the year, and that if you have not made 2023 contributions, you can do that until April 15th, but you can also do 2024 contributions now as well. Please check your limits. 2023 and 2024 are different limits, and if you turn 50, they change too. Gather your documents. As I mentioned, it's time to get everything together. 1099s, W-2s, last year's tax return even, mortgage documents, charitable receipts, realized gain and losses from your investments, just to name a few. Quick side note, speaking of your past returns, when this return is complete, this is one of the best sources to assist in tax planning for 2024, your 2023 tax return. So please gather that together after, and your tax advisor and myself can work with you on how to plan for this coming year. Another very specific, very situation-specific action, can you lower your 2023 taxable income still? You may be able to. Again, talk to your tax team. This can be done in the form of those IRA contributions I just talked about, maybe a contribution to an HSA account if you have one of those. Some states will even allow you prior year 529 college savings contributions. Okay, let's wrap this up today. I brought you a few items to chew on over the weekend. I hope they help. There is more to come in the coming weeks as we get closer to April 15th. 15th and beyond, investing is not all about taxes, but it is truly not what you earn, it's what you keep. And with your tax team and myself working to get you the best after tax in your pocket returns, the work never stops. The focus will remain on the signal, not the noise, and this is all about your goals and how we strive to reach them. Please keep in touch. Call me with any questions. Have a great weekend.